Welcome to my studio. Brian Keeler here. I'm in the final stages of doing a painting of Luthier, Harry Aceto, a wonderful musician from Ithaca, New York. He's also a guitar repairman, and this is his shop above the Ithaca Guitar Works. When you saw me, I was just softening some edges. I've been working on his head and redoing the portrait there, but this is my open house here at the North Star Art Gallery in Ithaca, and we have some people here at our open house. We just had a classical music concert, and right here behind me is Rick and Carol, and they have some observations that they're going to share with us about their painting or their impressions. So Rick, you were talking about something about water or whatever.
I had said before how much I enjoyed how large this looms in the painting, and this is a very appropriate musical theme for this shop where Harry Aceto is doing his work. And then Carol.
Yeah, I like the reflection of the bridge in there. It looks like it's on a pond or something. It's very organic.
And then I had the additional thought just now that I like this, I don't know if it's right to say compositional tension, but this is so large, and that feels like a great balance to this, but it doesn't detract from the attention to Harry's face, because we have all these lines, and you were saying about the challenge of getting the rectilinear perspective right, Brian. Exactly. And I think you did, because it really brings the eye to Harry's face, even though you've got all this other great stuff to look at as well.
Yeah, well said. A lot of people have been commenting on the base. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something about the little bit of light on the base here, and the reflected light, the direct light of the sunlight coming through the blinds and so forth. So for some reason that's captivating
it really
viewers.
Pumps out beautifully.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
And behind me we have Helen and Betty here, and Betty, you had some interesting ideas or observations as well.
Well, I think Rick put it more succinctly and more technically, but I also had that same observation about the reflection and the light coming through the window. It's just perfect, but I guess in addition to that, it's just the intimacy and the warmth of his workspace and how his personality is just reflected in the shop itself, and I love the way you've captured it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, there's so much detail in the shop, and yet the focus is still on him.
Yes, it's just great.
The
It's
colors
beautiful.
are wonderful too. They're very warm and soothing.
Thank you. People often ask me how long these paintings take, and the short answer is they vary a lot. The plein air paintings I can get kind of set up and blocked in a few hours, but this is one that's been a little bit more labor intensive, and it's taken me several weeks to do it. In fact, I just redid his head recently. I just wasn't satisfied with what he was looking, so I'm reworking that, and it feels right now. I hope it ends up that way, but there's been a lot of detail and complexity. The drawing alone took me well over a week to do, just because it was so involved and complex, and it has a variety of lights. We have a direct light here and what I call ambient light here, and the perspective leading in with these perspective lines, which I call orthogonals, and so it's been.
Brian, you'd mentioned that you were inspired by a work by Vermeer, I believe?
Yeah, it is inspired by a Vermeer painting. I think there's a couple of them. One of them is called The Astronomer, and it's a very similar pose. The model, the gentleman, is in a similar position, and he's leaning over a globe. I think what they were called was astrolabes, and he's contemplating that. And this painting was kind of inspired or modeled after that one, with a similar light that Vermeer used, and it's kind of a big pill to fill. We were just talking about that because Vermeer, I think Betty, you were the one that was mentioning that, of simplifying it and what detail in, and Vermeer kind of had a way of kind of blacking everything out, but not making it look like overtly done that way. So
you've captured the shadows so beautifully.
Yeah.
And
so
that really makes a difference.
all right.
I like like the subject matter myself too, because I've never been in a music shop where they, you know, repair and it's absolutely fascinating.
Well,
It
thank,
really is. It's nice.
well, thank you.
Great subject.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for offering your thoughts and
Thank you
impressions.
for sharing it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for
Wonderful.
coming. So you can see this painting eventually on my website. It's sort of designed for a new book that I'm doing. I did a book several years ago on landscape painting. Now I'm on the final stages of doing a book on figure painting, all aspects of figure painting. And this one, and I have another one of the same theme that you'll see if you get my book. So look for it on my website, briankeeler.com, and the North Star Art Gallery.com. Okay, thanks so much.